Top of the morning to you, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of Silverstones. My name is Joran Headley, and I will be your host for today's show. We're going to be talking about a few different things. The first thing we're going to be talking about is Shakepay. We're going to be adding another reason why I love Shakepay, and I think that this is probably the most important reason why I love Shakepay. We're also going to be talking about the things that are going on in crypto right now, the different exchanges that are imploding, the importance of finding information that you can trust, finding platforms and exchanges that you can trust, some lessons that we've learned through this whole week of mayhem, and finally, really drive home the point of getting your coins off of the exchanges today. If you have any Bitcoin on any of the exchanges, even Shakepay, get it off of the exchanges today. So let's start with Shakepay. Last week, I posted a video, the top 5 reasons why I love Shakepay. And if you want to check that video out, it's the last video posted on my YouTube channel. I'm going to quickly run through those top 5 reasons, but if you want a more in-depth discussion of them, just check that video out. So number 5 was the Shake Squad, which is you and 4 friends can earn Bitcoin by using your Shakepay Visa card for day-to-day purchases. And when one person uses it, the whole group benefits from it. Number 4 was the Shakepay Earn, where you can deposit up to $1,000 in Canadian dollars on Shakepay and earn 7% back in Bitcoin, which sounds a little bit sketchy based on what we've been talking about with FTX and all the things that have been happening with the different things in crypto. But once I talk about the numbers, the other reason why I love Shakepay, I think that you'll feel a little bit more comfortable leaving your money on Shakepay. Number 3 was the Shake feature, where you can open up your Shakepay app every day, shake your phone, and earn a small amount of Bitcoin. Number 2 was just the ease of use of the app and the ability, just making it really easy for people who are wanting to convert their dollars into Bitcoin, making a very easy app to facilitate that transaction. And number 1 was the Shakepay Visa card, which is a prepaid Visa, which connects to your Apple Wallet on your phone, which you can use on your everyday purchases like groceries, gas, basically any retailer that has a tap feature at the till. You can use the Shakepay Visa, and every purchase you earn 2% back in Bitcoin. So those were the top 5. Like I said, if you want to check those out in a more in-depth discussion, it's the last video posted on the channel. Right now, I'm going to talk about number 6, the number 6 reason why I love Shakepay. And I think that this is actually going to leapfrog all the way to be number 1. And it was from an email that the Shakepay CEO sent out last week to all the Shakepay users. And kind of what he was talking about, I have the email right here. I'm going to talk about a few things that I found most important on here. But he talks about when they first started Shakepay 7 years ago, they set up the foundation in a sense where they had security, customer security as number 1, and having enough finances to get through these different cycles as number 2. Because we've all seen the last year, especially, that Bitcoin and the crypto market have a tremendous amount of volatility just because the market itself is still so small and compared to the overall market cap, the asset class around the world. And so the fluctuations in crypto, we've seen it take out numerous companies because of this. But Shakepay, it sounds like, has been setting itself up in a way to weather this storm. Regardless of what the market's doing, they're going to have enough reserves held to be able to get through it. And so the first thing that he mentioned in the email, and the most important thing, is that Shakepay had no ties or affiliations or exposure to FTX. And if you've been paying attention to the crypto world the last week, FTX has caused absolute mayhem in the markets because they were using customer deposits as leverage to finance other ventures, invest in other projects, we'll call them, and basically just screwing over their own customers. So Shakepay wanted to point out the fact that they have no affiliation to FTX, FTT, which is the token of FTX, or Alameda Research Company, which is basically a holding company with ties to FTX, and they use that to essentially launder money. And this hasn't been proven yet, so I don't really like saying for sure, but based on my conclusions from what I've seen, is that they have ties to one of the political parties in the USA. They have ties to a country that's at war with Russia right now. And as I said, there's no concrete evidence. We're still learning new things every hour, it seems right now. But that's kind of the conclusions that I've formed. And although not proven yet, there's a lot, I think, that a lot of truth wrapped up in there. So anyways, Shakepay had no exposure whatsoever to FTX, which is a huge plus for me. The second thing is that Shakepay holds their customers' funds one-to-one. So I love the fact that they're not using the fractional reserve system like we see in our banking system, like we saw at FTX, and a bunch of other exchanges, I think, are using this fractional reserve, which means basically that if you deposit $1 with them, they lend out up to $10 with that same $1. And we know that happens in our banking system. So if you go to the bank, you deposit $1, that bank now has the ability to lend up to $10 from that $1. That's called fractional reserve. Shakepay is one-to-one. So for every dollar that you deposit with Shakepay, they don't do anything with it. They either keep it in the bank or they keep it in cold storage, which I think is critical. And I think that that's how every exchange should be operating. Every bank, in my opinion, should be operating that same way. And the final thing is that they've raised money. They've been selling shares in Shakepay to raise financing to make sure that they can weather any kind of storm that comes in the crypto industry. So it says that they've been selling shares. They've raised financing through the sale of their shares, and they're keeping that money in reserve for times like these to make sure that they can continue paying their employees, make sure that their operations can continue. And just knowing that, having money deposited with Shakepay, I think, gives you a lot more confidence. I think it does for me anyway. So that's what I wanted to talk about with Shakepay. I'm going to add that the fact that they had no relation to FTX and the fact that they hold funds one-to-one as being the most important reason why I would recommend Shakepay to anyone watching this channel, anyone who I consult with Silverstone Solutions, friends, family, anything. And that's kind of what else I wanted to talk about here, is because I feel a huge sense of responsibility when I'm talking about this stuff. When you're dealing with people's finances and money and their hard-earned money, you want to make sure that you're giving them advice with some due diligence behind it. And we've seen the last week that there's been some public figures such as Kevin O'Leary comes to mind, Pomp, which is Anthony Pompliano, and even Tom Brady. These guys have had affiliation with FTX. They've been promoting FTX. Tom Brady was in a commercial with FTX. And I'm not saying their intentions were good or bad. I'm not here to judge that. I'm just saying that these people have a tremendous amount of responsibility. And I think that the lesson learned last week is that they have to do a lot more due diligence before they're willy-nilly with telling people where they should be placing their money. And so for a channel like myself, with obviously hardly anybody watching it right now, that's not as important, but I am proud of the fact that from day one, what I've been telling people to do was get their coins off of the exchanges. I haven't been talking about which projects to invest in or which projects offer the highest return. I've been talking about the value of Bitcoin and what it can do for the world, and the importance of getting your Bitcoin off of the exchanges as soon as you purchase it. So I am very proud that that's something that I've started with, still do, and will continue to do in the future, that a lot of the people in crypto cannot say the same thing at this time. And so that's kind of something that I just wanted to point out here, the fact that it's really easy to find information online. It's very difficult to find information that you can trust, platforms that you can trust, exchanges that you can trust, and just different resources and tools that you can put your money into that are trustworthy. So that's kind of where I want to leave it today. I didn't want to drag this on too long, and I haven't, which is good, which is rare. But I did want to say that if you haven't done this yet, and I say that I laugh every time I say this because I've said it so often that it's almost nauseating to me, but people are still leaving their money on the exchanges or their Bitcoin on the exchanges. So if you have any sort of Bitcoin, any sort of crypto assets, anything on the exchanges, please get it off of there. Move it into an Exodus wallet or a Moon wallet. And if you really want to take your security to the next level, get yourself a separate device like a Trezor or a crypto laptop. And that's what I have been, my mission at Silverstone Solutions, this channel and my company itself, is providing the tools and resources so that people can put full trust in what we're doing and to keep people's assets safe, keep their hard-earned money that they've converted from money into Bitcoin safe. And so at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. Will be the theme of this channel today and going forward. So that's it, I think. I really appreciate everybody who's been tuning in here. If you need information on moving your Bitcoin into Exodus or Moon, I do have a few videos on the channel, or you can go to the website right here. This is silverstones.ca. It has my contact information on there, my email address, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Just send me a message on there and we can either just chat, have a chat, or we can set up a consultation. So that's it for today. I hope that everybody's doing okay, especially if you're holding Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of fires and mayhem right now in the markets, but if you're a person who's been holding Bitcoin in your own private wallet, we're in a pretty good place right now. And this is going to be some short-term pain in terms of the prices going down, but long-term, I think that we've learned a huge lesson here. And long-term, the more and more of these Ponzi schemes, because that's exactly what they are. They're Ponzi schemes. The more that we can expose and the more that we can get rid of, the better the industry itself will be. And at the end of the day, the whole mission here, or the point of this, is to replace our current monetary system with either a Bitcoin standard or a gold standard. But until we fix that, it's impossible to fix the rest of the issues in this country and around the world. So I think that we're making an impact here. It's going to be some short-term pain. Long-term, we're in a pretty good place. And if you own any sort of Bitcoin right now in your own private wallet, then the rest of this is all just kind of noise right now. And for myself personally, I'm in this for the long run. I'm not here to make a return on investment this month or this year, whatever it may be. We're here for the long term. So once again, thanks everybody who has been watching this channel. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and share it with some friends in the crypto industry, because the more people who see this, I think the better off we'll be. If we can stick to the basics and stick to the foundation of holding your own keys, I think that that's essential moving forward. So once again, I appreciate you very much, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye. Guess I gotta hit the button.